I'm going to share with you my absolute favorite tobacco scents. For some very strange reason, I absolutely love, I'm obsessed with tobacco scents. I have never smoked. I don't like smokers. I don't like cigarettes in any shape or form. But for some mysterious reason, I'm obsessed with tobacco scents. I have tried almost every tobacco scent on the market that ever came out. I ended up selling some of my bottles that I found a little bit too masculine or too harsh to my nose, and I kept the ones that I absolutely adore. But I'm going to mention some of those that I already sold. I'm familiar with those scents, and I recommend those for men mostly. I don't think women can comfortably pull some of them off, or they're not as pleasant as these that I'm going to present. So let's start. First, I want to talk about one that is super popular, Initio's Side Effect. So Side Effect has some tobacco, cinnamon, saffron, sandalwood, hedione, rum, and tobacco. So this scent is interesting. I had a full bottle at some point in time and I ended up selling it, but I did want a 10 ml just so I can keep a partial bottle for myself because I don't dislike this scent. It's just not full bottle worthy for myself. I think guys love this scent more than women, although I do know some women who enjoy it. It is really, really rummy. So for me, the tobacco here doesn't come out as much. You have a sensation that there is some slight tobacco sitting in the background, but it mostly giving me that cinnamony, saffrony, woody, rummy-ness that I think would be beautiful on a man's skin. I don't find it particularly breathtaking for myself to have a full bottle of. Again, I like that I have a small decant, but it is not scent that I'm drawn to for some reason. It is sweet and it's rummy and it has all the facets that I love in a tobacco fragrance, but I just don't smell too much tobacco here. So if you just want a sweet rum scent with some spices, then this is a good option. For me, this is not the top, not my favorite. Another one that hits me a little bit in a similar way is Carolina Herrera's Mystery Tobacco. So Mystery Tobacco is a very, very sweet type of tobacco scent. This one has osmanthus flower, ginger, it has some artemisia, tobacco, patchouli, guaiac wood, vetiver, and tonka bean. So what I'm getting from this also is this overwhelming sweetness. It is a beautiful scent. I prefer this to Side Effect. It's a little bit more smoky, but it's still very, very sweet, syrupy sweet. The dry down is absolutely breathtaking of this. You have a really tiny hint of tobacco, and what you get mostly is this syrupy sweetness. I don't get any citruses when I'm smelling this. It's mostly the patchouli mixed with tonka and a little bit of tobacco-iness, but it's not very prominent. It's just a hint of tobacco to make the scent a little bit more interesting, but it's not that it's not enough tobacco for me, I guess. It's a little too sweet, but it's really a beautiful scent. Another interesting choice for tobacco, it's mostly for women. It's Portrayal Women from Amouage. And why is this interesting is because they mixed here jasmine with tobacco. It's a very unique composition. Really doesn't have a lot of other notes. It's jasmine, tobacco, vanilla, and elemi. And what you're getting here is really that jasmine with tobacco, and they did it in a very beautiful, unique kind of way. I have not smelled in any other compositions. It's super unique. It's very jasmine dominant, but you could sense a little bit of that tobacco leaf in the background that balances out the jasmine. It's not so heavily floral. It has a little bit of that tobacco-iness in it. It's a beautiful scent, mostly for women. Outside of these, I want to mention the goodies now. The tobacco mandarin would be my next suggestion for you if you absolutely love tobacco perfumes. This one is now discontinued, but you could still find it. So a lot of Byredos I find are acting a little bit strange when you spray them on paper. Even if you spray a little bit on your hand, you're really not getting the experience of the perfume. It's you may not even like some of these scents. They're really coming alive on your skin if you wear them for an hour or 2 hours. That's when you start sensing or getting a good sense of what this scent is all about. So tobacco mandarin has cumin, mandarin orange, coriander, tobacco, leather, labdanum, olibanum, agarwood, and sandalwood. At first I did not like this at all, but the more I used it and the more I sprayed it, I became obsessed with it. So this one definitely is smelling all that cumin and coriander, the spiciness, and the spiciness is mixed with that beautiful orange note. And at the base, you're smelling the leather, you're smelling the tobacco. It's one of the most interesting and mesmerizing tobacco scents out there. Very, very unique, super unique. There is really nothing like it. I'm not sure why they discontinued this. I don't think they brought it back in the new bottles, the larger bottles that they came out with now. It was part of the Night Vale collection. Sometimes you could still find it. It's really worth pursuing. It's a beautiful tobacco scent. Next up, I want to show you one that is one of my absolute favorite ones, is Givenchy's Enflamme. So Enflamme is a relatively simple concoction. This one has Madagascar vanilla, tobacco, and some coffee. In terms of a tobacco scent, this, in terms of scent profile, is on the top. One of the best tobacco scents I have found over the years. The only complaint that I have for this, I would love to talk to the person who created this perfume, because the issue with this is longevity. So it's really taking you on this beautiful journey. It's almost like you don't want to smell anything else if you smell this. This scent is truly the best. Because there's some gems in here still that I want to talk about, so I'm not going to say this is the best, but it's really up there with the best. The only one complaint is that it does not last. So you have to reapply this several times throughout the day. So you better get a huge bottle like I did, because if you want to use this, you have to keep spraying it. Otherwise, you're not going to smell this anymore as the day goes on. But in terms of tobacco scent, it's everything you want in a tobacco scent. It's beautifully sweet. It's not too cloying. It has the beautiful tobacco note with the vanilla. It's really, really breathtaking. Another intoxicating scent, which I forgot to mention when I did the video about ambers, it's Clive Christian's Blonde Amber. I have actually a backup bottle from this. This is the best, one of the best, if not the best, amber scents out there. And it also has a beautiful white tobacco note, which really is to die for. It's very complex, like most of the Clive Christian scents. So there's at least 25 notes, which I'm not going to read through, but it does have some tonka vanilla, some rum, cardamom, and beautiful, beautiful white tobacco, which is a little softer. It's not a harsh kind of tobacco scent. It's deep, resinous, boozy, amber with a hint of tobacco. If you want the most versatile, most beautiful amber or tobacco amber scent, this is highly recommended. It's very, very expensive. Sometimes you can find it at discount sites for a little bit less, but it is really worth splurging on because it's truly one of the most intoxicating scents that has ever been created. And I think even Clive Christian couldn't surpass this. Whatever, the other scents are great, but nothing compares to Blonde Amber. It is really, truly unique. Another one of my favorite tobaccos is Tobacco Vanille from Tom Ford. I featured this in my other videos when I talked about vanilla. It's a beautiful, spicy vanilla with tobacco facets. This one has tobacco leaves, some spicy notes, definitely a lot of spices, vanilla, cacao, tonka, tobacco blossom, dried fruits, and woody notes. So tobacco vanille might sound like a cliche. It's really a really high quality, beautiful tobacco vanilla, just like the name says it. It says it all. It's perfectly unisex. I highly enjoy this scent. Sometimes when you wear clothing and you spray it on your clothing, it becomes this really deep, resinous, really intoxicating scent as you smell it on yourself throughout the day. The dry down is gorgeous. Don't just judge it by spraying a little bit on a blotter. Really, the wearing experience is what makes this so special. When you just sniff it like this, it might come across as something super, super spicy, and you may not think that this would be for you. It's almost like Oriental spicy, as if you cooking a super spicy Indian or Thai or whatever dish. But really, the dry down of this is breathtakingly beautiful, especially on clothing. If you spray it on clothing and it lingers throughout the day, this, I'm telling you, you don't need any other vanilla or tobacco perfume, except there are two others that I want to mention that are up there with tobacco vanille. One would be tobacco honey from Guerlain. So tobacco honey is more of a honey forward fragrance. I enjoy this tremendously because I also love honey. But here the tobacco takes a little bit of a back seat. It is still really breathtakingly beautiful. And this one also lingers on the skin. The dry down of this is mind-bogglingly beautiful. It's really the honey, little bit of spices that come out. It does have cloves, anise, vanilla, tonka, some sesame, agarwood, and sandalwood. It's really, the magic of this is really in the dry down. When you sniff it like this, it's more of that honey note that sits on top. But when you put this on skin and you wait in a few hours, the way it dries down on skin, it's sensual, it's deep, it's resinous, it's balsamic, it's everything that you want in a perfume. And my top choice from tobacco perfumes is Dior's Tobacco L'Or. So as you see, it's a 250 ml bottle. I use this much in one winter season because I'm just obsessed with this scent. This is my absolute signature scent, number one signature scent of all times. Highly, highly recommended. Not only I used up a whole bottle, I also have 4 backup bottles the same size as this one. And what's interesting about this is that the new edition bottles are not as strong. So when I purchased a bottle from Dior directly and I received it, I was super highly disappointed because I could not smell that dense syrupy tobacco that this perfume is. I smelled something really, really faint, and it wasn't even resembling that beautiful deep tobacco scent that includes the tobacco leaf, honey, smoke, plum, amber, oriental notes, white tobacco, peach, citruses. You smell all of that in this. It's a deep, resinous, balsamic, sensual, sexy scent trail that is not comparable to anything else on the market. Same with tobacco honey. Here the magic is in the dry down. So I love this from the beginning to the end. You put this on, it's super elegant. This is so elegantly done, Dior style, perfectly blended. Some people might find it cloying at times. I don't find it cloying at all. This is a scent I could smell for the rest of my life, every single day. If I could choose only one perfume in my life, this would be it. It's sweet, it's pleasant, it's everything that you want in a perfume, 100%. There's no missed opportunity here. It's every note is perfect, every note is art that's included in this composition. And so if you want to buy this, I would recommend to find older bottles on the secondary market. When you look at the batch codes, usually it starts with a 0, and then 1 is also good, 2 is also good, and then when you look at the 3 from 2023, 2024, those are a little weaker, although I did find one bottle from 2024 that was also denser. So you have to really smell it and decide if you smell that rich, dense, tobacco-y scent. And if not, then it's probably not a strong formulation. It has not been reformulated, but I did notice huge difference between batches, and sometimes testers even smell better than the actual edition. And another interesting fact that I discovered, it's just a coincidental finding, anecdotal finding. It's not really backed up by any scientific research. I noticed that when you put tobacco-based colognes and perfumes into the fridge, the tobacco note becomes fresher. So it refreshes, resets almost that tobacco note. Tobacco L'Or, I always keep in the fridge. I purchased a small fridge for my Tobacco L'Or bottles, and that's where I keep them so they stay beautiful and fresh. There's a couple of other bottles that I want to mention, especially for men, that are great choices for tobacco type perfumes. They're just not ones that I particularly enjoyed on myself as a wearing experience. So one would be Les Indomobiles Vanilla Havane. Vanilla Havane is more of a rum-based, spicy tobacco perfume. To me, the rum was a little bit too overpowering in that perfume, and I didn't find that it offered me anything beyond the ones that I already own. So I ended up selling that bottle. Another one that is very highly recommend, I highly recommend this Caron's Tobacco Exquise, which is a cacao based tobacco perfume. So in that one, my issue was the cacao note. I do like cacao in perfumes, but I just felt that the cacao and the way the cacao mixed with the tobacco, it kind of steered that scent away from the tobacco center and became a little more powdery, cacao-y, and I just didn't enjoy the full experience. I think it's a unique scent. I just didn't care for it. And then there's others that I think men love. One is Amouage Royal Tobacco. So Royal Tobacco is really, really smoky. So if you want a heavy duty, super, super smoky perfume, then Royal Tobacco is definitely for you. I don't think it's a perfume for women per se. I think it's a very masculine, very heavy duty tobacco incensey, church incensey type of scent, which I didn't enjoy on my own skin. And there's another one that is super popular is Xerjoff Naxos. Naxos has lavender notes in it. So the lavender is mixing with all the spices and then the tobacco. I somehow prefer either tobacco scents or lavender scents separately, but when you mix the two together, I just didn't find it too pleasant on my skin. And then there's another one that is tobacco-y, is Celine's Night Clubbing. Celine's Night Clubbing is more of a cigarette smoke type of scent. It's as if you went to a club where you were drinking all night and you were either smoking or your clothing took in all the smoke and cigarette scent from other people in a dingy, dark club. And then the next day you went back and smelled your clothes that you left or you took off and you left on the sofa, and that smell, that used old cigarette smell, is what that perfume reminds me of. I will try it again because I learned that you have to keep trying a scent several times before you decide whether or not you like it, and sometimes the biggest hits turn into love or the other way around. So these were my tobacco choices. I think if you choose the ones that I recommended, you're set for life with tobacco scents. I don't think there are any other tobacco scents on the market that are better than these few that I introduced to you.